Hi everyone, I'm Matt. I work for a company called CoalStack. CoalStack does all sorts of consulting with React and React Native. So if you're looking for great developers, ping me after the talk. And thanks to CoalStack, I've got to work on ReasonML now full time. So that's super cool. Cool. So today I wanted to. I don't have too many slides, but I wanted to briefly talk about things that we've been trying to play around at CoalStack. So very early on, we played around with the Reason router, which is this built-in solution that comes with Reason. That is super nice for web, but we couldn't find anything like that for React Native. So we started to explore that area, and the first thought that we had was simply to write bindings for current JS libraries that are out there. But in the end, like because we wanted to play around with the language and see what we can build, we decided to start from scratch and actually just use pure Reason implementation. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff that we have so far. We'll be probably I don't want to overpromise anything, but probably open sourcing the library maybe next week after it gets a tiny bit more stable and we have more docs. Something what Chenglu was talking about yesterday, that we want to make sure that it's decent for people to see. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you what we've got so far. So this is our typical dev mode while developing library. Oops. What am I doing? Live demos, 2 seconds. All right, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for the iOS simulator to launch, I'm going to show you a bit of the docs that we've got so far and kind of explain how everything plays out. So currently, I'll try to make it bigger. So currently, what we've got, like, within the API, we worked on Stack Navigator and Tab Navigator. We are more or less settled on the APIs for them. So the way So the way that you would get started is first you would have to define the config module with your routes. Then we are passing this config to our navigation create that creates those navigators that later on have access to it. As you can see, the whole config is type of variance. So later on, what we can do is, in our Stack Navigator, we can use the power of pattern matching and then pattern match on those routes, and display whatever we want to see. Stack Navigator and Tab Navigator have very similar API. The core things are we get a current route as a render prop that then we match on. And then what we want to do in each of these components that we are rendering, we are wrapping them in a screen component that Stack Navigator or Tab Navigator provides. And then on that screen component, you are able to set some of the options that are needed for both of the navigators. Let me see if we've got this. Okay, that's still building. We're almost there. The colors are not super nice in here, but let's see. So this is our tab navigation. It works. Sorry, I'll start with stack. That's the stack navigation. I guess you are super familiar with the way it works. We've got gestures built in. We are using React Native gesture handler, thanks to Chris for the amazing library. Then on the tab navigation, very simple thing, what you're used to. And this is all pure Reason implementation of all of those navigators. Then you can have your custom tab bars where you can do pretty much whatever you want with styles, with the way they animate.
Do you have hand gestures side to side within the tabs?
Not yet. Not yet. So that's not done yet. We don't have animations done also on the tab navigator. We're kind of trying to settle down on a nice API, which will be extendable, like find the right abstraction right now. Is there anything else that I want to show you? Oh yeah. So if, like I tweeted probably a few weeks ago, if you are keen to have a look at the code and like give us some early feedback, maybe try things out. Feel free to ping me on Twitter, and then I'll add you to the repo. So it will be really cool to hear about your feedback. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.